Here's how routing works with Angular. First, we're going to need another script from the Angular codebase. It's called angular-route.js. This will give us access to a new module, a module that our application module will need to take a dependency on. This new module is called ng-route. Using a component in ng-route, we will configure our routing rules into the routing engine. Remember, this is where you describe the URLs for your application. You have to tell the routing engine how it should respond to a particular URL that appears in the browser. With ng-route, this is done using a component known as route provider. It has an API where you describe what the URL looks like and then what to do for that URL. For each URL, you can specify a template URL, that is the HTML that Angular has to go and find and load up for that route, and then optionally a controller that should be used to manage that template. And because the routing engine has to take that template and load it into the display, we're going to need to reorganize our application and our default.html file. Our default.html file will become what some people call a layout view or a shell view. A layout view is a view that contains the markup you will use on every page of your application. It might include some common features like a navigation menu at the top that's going to appear everywhere in your application, and perhaps a footer at the bottom that contains links to contact you and a copyright. But there will be space somewhere in that layout view where the routing engine can load a template that corresponds to the current URL. So let's say we have two templates available, one to display user details and one to display repository details. We will tell the routing engine where to place these templates using a new directive, an ng-view directive. We will use that directive on an HTML element, and it is that HTML element where Angular will insert the template when we're at the right URL. And now, as the user clicks and navigates and enters information and saves information, the routing engine will swap out one template with another template inside the shell view. And our application is now scalable. It can support any number of templates and controllers. The routing engine is going to swap them in and out. When it does that, it will also coordinate with the browser history so that if the user hits the back button or the forward button, they will still be navigating just inside of your application. So we have a little bit of work cut out for ourselves, but let's try this out now.